Hey, this is Chad with Munday Scientific Microscope Marketplace. Today, we've got a heads-up display on an Olympus CKX53 tissue culture microscope. Mike's going to come in as usual. This is a killer scope. We got the heads-up display from Acuscope. This is their Excellus camera. It is super easy to use. Comes with a mouse, so you can capture images directly to the card that's included. Or you can run a simplified version of the software. You can zoom in. You can change the image. It saves the images. You can take a video. You can manipulate the image over here on this side of the screen. We have a lot of videos on how the software works. So does Acuscope. They do a great job with it. But what we really want to do is show you the image on the phase contrast on this tissue culture scope. This isn't a great phase contrast specimen, but you can see the difference here. See how it's really illuminated? If you were doing tissue culture cells and they were translucent and you had the phase in, that's standard bright field. See how you can barely see anything. It's overexposing actually. But see the difference there? You would be able to see your cells so much better and they would look more three-dimensional, and you can get counts or whatever the work that you're trying to do done way easier with this phase contrast. So this scope's actually sold to UVA and it's getting ready to ship out, and we wanted to show a little bit about the scope. We have a camera selector here, so if you want to send light to the camera, you flip this toggle switch, light to the eyepieces, you go here. Has two 10x eyepieces by 22 millimeter field of view. Both are focusable. I like to leave them here on 0 with that white scribe, and then that's about 20/20 vision, and then you would rotate from then on out to focus your eyes if you needed an adjustment. Then you have the condenser here. I'll show you how to take it off and put it back on. We have a video that goes over this whole scope, but it helps explain it. This is the condenser. You have a diaphragm here. Your phase rings are here. These phase rings are pre-aligned, one for the 4X and this one for the 10, 20, and 40. This one is an open position for bright field, and it has a click stop. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll put it kind of up here close to the mic. But it clicks in, and then you know that it's pre-aligned, so the phase rings are going to be nice and look good. If you want to put a filter in this scope, you got a filter holder right here. It is a LED system, so you don't need a blue filter. But if you want like a green filter or a different color, you can do that. Let's see here. It goes in on a dovetail and locks on with this screw. If this is uneven or not locked on properly, your phase rings won't be aligned. They have a nice little extension plate here that is held on with 2 thumb screws here on the bottom. That extension plate comes on. These are nice. You can add them to both sides. They're a little tricky to put on. They line up with these holes right here. They're way easier on this new system versus like an older CK2. They're really hard to put on those for whatever reason. They're kind of set off to the side. So I got that locked in. You have your stage plate there. And then Mike, show the objectives. We have 3 objectives on this scope. This is what they wanted. They're going to live at the 10 for tissue culture work, but they do have a 4X fluorite, and then they have plan phase 10 and plan phase 20X. These are long working distance lenses. They correspond with this phase ring here. If you wanted to do the 4X, because it is a phase lens too, you would put this phase ring in. That's basically it on this scope. It's a LED system. It's very easy to use. You can add a mechanical stage to this scope if you want to. You have a coarse and fine focus. There's your fine focus, there's your coarse focus. If it's turned on, you got the on and off button here. And then, I want to say there's another switch. No other switch on this one. It's just your standard on and off button. The Nikon has a double switch, which is kind of confusing to some folks, but this one's just an on and off switch here, and then your rheostat to turn the light up and down is right here. And if you got any questions about this scope, let me put the specimen back in, turn the camera back on for the out. Look at that. That's a good looking image. Easy, super quick to focus. these are great for training purposes. So you can add them to any scope with a trinocular head, and people love them. So they're super easy to use, and you can run, if you don't want the heads-up display, you can do the same camera and just run it with the software on your PC. It's a little less expensive and more affordable if you do it that way, but this is really good for training in small spaces in your lab. So if you got any questions about this scope, this display, setup, microscopes in general, call me, 919-775-5596. You can email at info@mundaymicroscope.com. If this video brought you value, please like and subscribe.